Oh, dude. It's happening.
It's happening.
That thing where we show up on time and do that happy hour. Look at that. We got people coming in the studio.
Oh, yeah. We got
Justin
Corey.
Robert Young, he's busy over on DTNS right now.
He's doing the news.
He's doing the news and sharing secrets. Uh-oh. We got people peeping in from the sides. Everything's crazy. Hey, folks.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome
I'm
to the
Brian.
Happy Hour.
This is Bryce.
I'm Bryce. Hi. Man, what day is it?
Man,
I don't know.
days don't matter anymore, and they're not going to matter for a while.
It's going to be worse. It's going to get even.
Well, what's funny is
Have you talked about this? I guess you probably talked about it yesterday.
I don't know how much we did, but what was funny was the conversation that I had with Corey involved us sort of running the numbers. Like, if we were to move critical cast members here on campus and just do as much Monorogue as we could.
Sure. Shooting intensive.
Yes. I mean, well, which, by the way, it's not like we invented the idea. I'm pretty sure that freaking Hollywood has done this. Yeah. They call them seasons or productions for movies, right? But then but in this case, I was talking to Corey, and we were talking about like, okay, well, we could do this, that, and that, and the other day or whatever, and then Corey's like, yeah, and then everyone gets like 2 days off a week. I was like, everyone, huh? He's like, yeah, well, because, we're only shooting Monorogue these 5 days.
Sure. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And it's like, Bryce doesn't need to be there for that because, he'll be there on the podcast. And then it's like, and I'll be off these days. I'm like, so everyone for 3 weeks gets 2 days off. And I was like, I think you left just one person out of this equation.
Some of us. Yeah, because Monday and Tuesday are the big days we do. If people don't know and they don't watch live, maybe, Mondays. I know Mondays for you is like 8 hours of recording.
That was the moment that I had to and I was really enjoying. I promise I was not trying to be rude in that moment, but. Very clearly, that was a blind spot. He walked right past it, and I'm like, a day off, huh? And I'm like, so my day off
You're still working
Mondays,
a day and a half.
where I do 5 podcasts and a happy hour. All right, we got it.
Yeah, because Monday you're doing 8 hours. Monday I'm doing about 12 because I'm also doing the publishing and editing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you have to do the actual work, but then you get to go home and work at your own pace.
Yeah.
Not really on Tuesday, but right. On Wednesday. As you get everything ready for
Scam
Nation. Yeah.
Right. And then Tuesday, there's always kind of an indeterminate amount of production time in terms of if I'm editing or writing a game. We did the Monster Match previous week.
Yep.
That took
a very good game.
It was a lot of fun, but
it was a very good game.
It took a while, and all of the chat realmers put that together. Or like most of the written stuff was already put together by them. I did a lot of the editing, and I put together like the graphics and all the slides and all. But that takes a while to put that stuff, make that stuff ready. And so it's, at your own pace for a lot of that stuff, but also it's got to get done.
Merrill Barr is saying something I'm disagreeing with. He's saying like people leaving campus for days off would defeat the purpose of moving on campus.
No, not.
No, because it turns out that when you have a whole bunch of lonely people who only have 2 places to go, either to work or
home.
at home. Doesn't really matter. They don't need to also sleep at work. They're allowed to go to their individual private pod at home.
Yeah, we were talking one day of like, well, some people. There was an idea floated of like, well, what if some of us also stayed on campus? And my first thought was, good luck to those people. I hope you have a good time. I need to sleep on my bed.
Yeah.
At night. It's like especially like with Jason staying here, like and like the point is that he's hanging around with it. Like I would totally love to set some time to hang out with him, maybe do a stream thing with him here or whatever.
And this is also where we get to do playful stuff that. As with many artistic endeavors, it starts off almost as a hobby. Like it's fun to do just for having done it, right? And but then schedules get awfully crowded or whatever. But like I'm super stoked for Jason because at some point over the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna be able to force him to play Half-Life Alex, and I'm really
Oh,
excited for him to experience that. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. You know, so that'll be fun. It'll be fun to find those times. I don't need to sleep here to make those times happen. I can use my own sink and shower at home.
I'll tell you what, though, man. When there's a misunderstanding with the missus, I start to wonder what a hammock in that little shack would look like.
You got that nice bespoke post one.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody.
No, it feels really, really good to be just. You know what's neat is everybody kind of understanding how everybody else is thinking and pre-solving questions so they don't even end up having to be asked, which is a long way around to go. Like the shoot that we just did for Mono Rogue was perfect because I could tell, like, as stuff was being described, I was like, here's a question Brian's going to ask. And then the next sentence would be the answer before Brian had the chance to ask the question, you know? I don't know. I'm really, really stoked about it.
Yeah. You know, one thing, what day was it that we shot those more of those TikToks? Was that
Two days ago?
Oh, it was Tuesday. That's right.
Yeah.
It was Tuesday. It was before Night Attack.
Right.
And there was...
It came out good. I went through all of them, and I can't wait to release. It's my favorite moment is releasing those TikToks.
Yeah. We put one out today. Did I put that one out today?
I don't think you did. I think the last one is the static shot.
Okay. So I plan on putting out 3 today. The pendulum and then the straw one.
Oh, great.
Because we're a little behind right now. But there was a thing that you mentioned during that shoot. And like the TikToks, you know, it's... From the production side, right, where I'm, you know, not really writing. I'm helping come up and figure stuff out. But at the end of the day, I'm not the one performing or writing the stuff.
What would the perfect analog be? I guess you're a staff writer. I mean, there's 2 people involved, right? You are producer director.
Like a story consultant. I don't know, like an
Yeah.
on-set or like a line producer. I think might be.
Yeah, there
the
we go.
closest
Yeah.
But so that's my role. It's not synthesis, but it's augmentation.
Right. Right.
But there was something that you said that
Mainly your job is like a little bit tighter.
let's just, yeah, right?
Just
The outside perspective.
Yeah. Right.
Which is interesting because I think as far as Game Nation, all the Magic stuff, that's been kind of firmly my position as kind of an outsider. You know, I'm not really in the Magic community. I'm not a name, and I don't know
Which gives you
Magic.
valuable eyes that we want to pluck from. if we can synthesize those eyes.
Anyway, so there was something that you said that reminded me of just like how difficult even that stuff is, right? Like we only spent about 30-40 minutes shooting those 7 TikTok videos or so.
When you put it that way,
But
it sounds so easy.
But that's what I'm saying is that at some when we wrapped, right, you were like, well, you know, I think I'm out of energy, and that's the
Which
one
I was
thing
I was embarrassed to even say those words because, like, we shot some TikToks, and it's like I don't think I've got it any more left in me.
But on the flip side, it's like that's valuable information. Like but you are on-screen talent. Your job is to have the energy and look good and look not tired and excited to go.
Right.
And so I actually need you to tell me that.
Well,
that's one of those things where it's like, because for me, I'm holding the camera. I'm just trying to listen to you and make sure it fits inside of a minute. I can go all day. I could go 4 hours and do TikToks and fucking knock this whole thing out. But like, you have to keep all of the concepts and writing in mind. You have to actually do the tricks, and so,
well,
and so there's only even though they're short, they're still, how do we reformat these ideas? How do I remember these ideas? Like, we would never, I can't, the one time I can think of us doing 7 Scam School episodes in one shoot, by the time we hit number 7, we were throwing those shits out because they were not good.
Yeah.
And so by changing it to TikTok, it's just that they're shorter. It's not that there's any less creative or mental work going on for you.
Well, and that is the interesting puzzle of TikTok. And if there is how can I put this? The way if you want to bake an apple pie, first you must create the universe. So, yes.
Even if the pie is very small.
A TikTok is a very small unit.
You still need a
of aha.
You still need a trillion
It
quarks.
took me 12 fucking years to get to that point where I could say it and practice teaching it so many different times that I know the exact right words to present it in 30 seconds and teach it in 22 more seconds. And also give a plug for something else in the middle of
Right.
that.
And make sure you say the person's name. Make sure you say all the hit beats. And it's like, we got 7 done in that shoot on Tuesday. The shoot last week, we only managed to get 3 because those were so ornery and require. I mean, some of them
They
took
were
10
touchy.
to 20 minutes.
As a matter of fact, I think the most recent one is the static shot, which is already notoriously just like it's touchy. It's it's a very slight breeze is
but it
has to happen at the right. Yeah, exactly.
It has to be like kind of fragile, but kind of stable. It can't fall over its own, but you still have to be able to gust it.
Also on top of that, you have to do a thing but not look like you're doing a thing. You have to nail it, then act not surprised that you nailed it, and then also deliver 3 credits without stumbling over your words.
Yeah.
It's funny how all of that ends up mattering. I don't know. It's wild.
Did you? So you say you saw the TikTok. So one of the ones that took I think took the longest so far was the 5 coin puzzle. All of the coins touching.
That one turned out much better than I thought.
Okay, good. Because I wasn't sure. I knew that cutting it together, people will be able to understand this more when they see it.
If there was money in TikToks and we had money to spend on it, I would pay somebody to just super glue 5 coins into that shape, and then we would just show it. But
I managed to find a diagram online that helped illustrate it a little bit also. So I think that helped put it over the edge.
I mean, and it reads.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the point.
I agree.
Oh, good. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Robert Young.
Pick up the sky.
Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. I've not been on. So here's what we don't know is whether or not Skype's going to. Skype, are you cooperating with us, Skype?
Well, your Skype should be fixed. I think the issue that we found was that you were on the UWP, the Microsoft Store version of Skype.
Oh.
And so we should have updated that shortcut, and you should now be on the Win32 Skype.
Okay, because I was actually really impressed when it was a late day and everything was all set, which to me is code for something's going to be broke. What's going to be broke? It turns out nothing was broke. Yeah. It was great. Here, do you want me to call you Justin, or you want to call us?
I'm calling you now. Yeah.
That's weird.
NSFW show.
Justin Robert Young.
Yeah,
It's me.
Oh, there
There
we
we
go.
go. There it is. Yeah.
Hi, Juice.
What's up?
How was the news?
Yeah. Was it tech? Was it daily?
Oh, was it? Yeah. It was a hell of a time, man. We're teching through the news. This news, it's broken, so we had to tech through it, and we figured it out, and now it's fixed until it breaks again tomorrow.
So, wait, what day is today?
Today's Thursday.
Okay. I guess it had been a minute because Andrew Heaton
It was like
texted
20
me.
minutes before I asked this before we even started too.
I mean,
We're never gonna-
Well, my answer was, "What are days
Whatever,
anymore?" but Andrew Heaton, out of genuine concern, because I called him shortly before our Tuesday show, saying like, "I don't know what we're doing. We're scabs, I guess."
Well,
and then so he hit me up asking like, "How did it go?" And man. After a couple of nights of sleeping on it, I'm really proud of how we acquitted ourselves on our silly comedy program on that Tuesday night. I thought it was a quite good discussion.
yeah, we also did the bizarre briefing earlier in the day, and
that was disgraceful. That was awful.
No, that was selfish of you.
When you guys
and the
did it,
parent
was
company
terrible.
of that
Yeah.
show should be just wait, never mind.
and part of my thinking was, well, okay, we're not gonna be on Twitter promoting that we're going live. It's the middle of the day. Most people are working anyway. Most people don't watch it. It's a low activity stream.
Also,
and it's
half of
once a
the
month.
world hadn't heard that was a thing yet. Like most people told me they didn't find out until like late afternoon that was a movement thing or whatever.
Yeah, and so and plus we had already there. It's one of those things where the calendar is such a weird thing, and like Bizarre Briefing, like that episode's not going to get posted for 2 weeks anyway because I'm never going to fucking get around to it.
Yeah.
And so a soft sin, but we started off the stream by telling people to go and donate to bail funds, your local bail funds. So
What do you mean bail funds?
there are like communal bail funds to help protesters get out of jail who have been arrested.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, Justin, and I know Justin, you did not do your normal stream on Tuesday, right?
I did. No, that was kind of where everything started. Was I had read on Twitter Monday that by and large a bunch of white media people were talking about I'm taking the day to black out and have this protest, and that's why you're not going to see me. And I'm like, oh crap. Got to make sure that I talk to Brian to see what we're going to do about Night Attack. And then I forgot and I went to sleep, and I woke up the next day and I'm like, crap, what is happening? And then I looked on Twitter and there was a bunch of largely black activists that were like, I have no idea who started this blackout thing. Like, it is a bad idea for the following reasons. And I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Mhm.
I just don't want to be callous as to what it is.
There
So I
were a
went
lot
live.
of weird facets to that, right? Like there was the Instagram thing where people got the idea, well, I'll just post a black square with the Black Lives Matter hashtag.
Then they remembered that was the exact marketing strategy used by the Fire Festival, only with a different color.
Well, and the other thing was that was flooding out that hashtag. So if people were using it to try to find information or resources, all they would see were the black squares from allies who were not. So that was part of like people not doing stuff, was to clear the way and let minority communities be amplified.
Here's what I like about the fact that we did bother to do a show. And again, I'm going to assume that everybody who either did or did not do a thing did it with good intentions in their heart. It strikes me as very odd that that a white privileged person might, with a straight face, say, "This is a very complicated situation, and as a white person of privilege, I feel like the bravest thing I can do is take the day off. You're welcome." I'm glad we didn't do any version of that and instead said, "Hey, let's just talk with Owen."
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's also like, you know, when someone like loudly exclaims that they're leaving the party and no one is interested in that person saying, "I'm unfollowing you now. I'm no longer subscribing to you." There was a desire for that to not happen with this, of like, I'm logging out because I can't handle this. I'm logging out so I get out of the way. It was just, you don't need to tell people that you're not doing anything.
I'll tell you this
just
much.
Get out of the way.
These eyes are pre-programmed to be magnetically drawn to the number of people watching at all times on Twitch. And whatever we did on Tuesday seemed like a lot of people tuned in and really enjoyed it. And the discussion was good, and I was proud of the opinions and the understanding that happened. I was proud of how our audience comported themselves. I don't know. It's that was a delicate tightrope with no net, and I thought we did a fine job.
Yeah. I mean, I was very happy with the final product, and you know, I personally think, at least for our audience, that was the best way to do it. And looking at how the chat was reacting to just what Owen was saying, like if that was a new thing for people to hear in that way, then that's very important. And I think it's a lot more important than us being part of a larger symbolic movement, because there is something that, like, you know, the phrase solutions based is kind of like forefront of my mind with all the coronavirus and this thing right now, that in a time of chaos, let's look at what we can do, because it's so easy, especially now, to just, you know, change your avatar, or even often more unhealthily, just dump a screed to pick a fight with people online, right? Like what you do, what you say, and what you intend to do with that in these moments specifically, I think do matter. And we didn't do anything willy-nilly. We went into everything with our eyes open on how we were going to do it. We didn't thumb through it. We didn't, accidentally try to, go into diamond time or something like that. Everything was kind of pre-discussed. And I think we got a point that I was very, very, very happy with that end product. And it was a side of Owen that I'd never seen before.
Yeah, there was definitely around the last third of it. You could definitely tell, like Brian's move is to ask sincere questions, and then he ran out of sincere questions to ask, and then Justin moved in, who has very thoughtful political hot takes, and Owen, the authority, the reason he's there, talk, and then at some point Brian just sort of gets real quiet and just backs away.
Well, that's fine.
I ran out of, like, I don't know. I tried it, like, at some point I recognized, oh, I'm hiding, aren't I? And then it was around that time that I said, well, let's wrap this up, because I'm definitely just hiding at this point because I don't know, what to say.
I think listening in this particular situation is not anything that you should be that you should think is a less than moment. Like, I think that there's a lot to be learned. There's a lot of perspectives that, for whatever reason, right now we're in a moment where a lot of people are paying attention to them that may have not in the past.
Yeah.
Although to your point, Brian, you were bringing up with Owen, you're like, well, how many people that are out there, were cooped up before and now have a righteous reason to be outside? And I think Owen made.
That's the moment I shut up, because Owen slapped me down for saying that, and then you said essentially the exact same thing, but he liked the way you said it, and pretty much Brian figured out, well, clearly Brian doesn't have the words Justin has, so I'm just gonna I'll be over here at the Winchester.
Well, I will say, last night I texted him because Oakland had a demonstration. Oakland put on a curfew, and last night there was a let's break curfew demonstration. So that was at curfew was at 8. The demonstration was at 8. And they were there, and thankfully very excited to report no violence, no damage. The cops as long as they were peaceful, they allowed them to be there, even though it was violating the curfew. Perfect. What you would want out of it. Very good job by everybody. And as things went on, it kind of turned into more of a gathering. And as the gathering happened, it turned into more of a dance party. And as everybody is, in their synchronized dance doing, I forget what song it was, but it was one of the line
the electric
slide kind of things. It wasn't the electric slide and it wasn't the Cupid shuffle, but it was one of those that have a line dance to it. I texted Owen and I'm like, all right. But some of these people are excited to be out of their apartment, right? Like, I'm not saying all. I'm not saying that's the reason why. I'm just saying some, right? Some people doing the Cupid shuffle.
I went and got my car. I went and washed my car yesterday, and it was just nice to be out and. I always like washing my car. Do you guys wash your car? Do you go and do it yourself, or do you go through the car wash?
I go through the car wash because number one, I never do a good enough job. Like if I do it, I see every what am I broken? Am I incompetent? I can't do this.
Same for me. It costs twice as much as going to the automated, but I have fun shooting the little gun.
That is fun. That is fun. Although, if here's what I figured out, and I do love this: you save it up for a very long time. Once a year, I go full detailing. However much that $10 a month you were going to spend on a bunch of bullshit, tiny washings, just blow $130, get it fully act like you're about to sell it to CarMax or whatever. Oh, so good, so good.
I used to have a place around the corner from me that would do that, and it was actually fairly inexpensive. It was like $30 or $40 to get it like not it wasn't the full detail. Like it wasn't like, but it was enough that they would like basically do what you would do at a like you take it in kind of thing. Or no, it went in on like their little conveyor belt so you could like see it being washed in like their version of it, and they're wiping it, and then they would come out and like vacuum it. But that was the fanciest I ever got.
But-
Otherwise, I would
oh,
just
man.
do the gas station.
No,
thing.
Okay, so like when you know it's about to get detailed, you start doing the dumbest shit like tearing up receipts and just letting them fly over the place. Like you become a bad person.
You start grinding your feet into the
to
fucking
your
mat.
own environment because like fuck it, I'm getting it detailed.
Okay, Brian, either you consistently get your car detailed, or like I don't want to know what you trying to let go of car hygiene is, because you have spent too much time on the road. You have built up so many terrible car hygiene habits. Like I don't know if I've ever gotten into any of your vehicles where there wasn't an initial, if you're really feeling energetic, the like reach over, grab like the 4 pickup of like 4 to go bags and then toss that in the back seat, like, or I'm just like kicking through them. So like I don't know what the heightened version of that is.
I want you to know that
You know the chili he drinks from Wendy's?
God damn it.
Doesn't even drink it. Just
Just bad.
and then grinds it in with his boots.
Take that car. You'll get better. I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna pay money to get you better. You're gross now. You're mine. I'm a human. You're a car.
Did BDSM with his Jeep. You're a bad little Jeep, aren't you?
Well, and it's kind of like a two-way street now because I'm coming up on almost a year now of refusing to put the sides on the Jeep. So it's like I took off the back, and the problem is I can't go and get it, properly car washed without putting that back on. I don't even know if those zippers are going to zip back on now. And since then, we've had like the Austin apocalypse that is, all the pollen or everything.
Yeah.
So there's like yellow cake uranium all over the car or whatever. So now it's like I don't know. There's sort of this low grade resentment.
Are you? What about washing it at home in the driveway? Because you got a hose. You got a hose.
Yeah.
I don't have a hose. I live in an apartment. I couldn't.
Yeah, but if you gotta bust out a hose, then you gotta bust out a
Little chamois?
vacuum, and then you gotta do all the It's been a year. Coming up on it. I'll put on the sides.
I just spent $300 detailing it.
Did you?
No,
okay.
No, I ended up. I think because they charge by the time. I think with that and vacuuming and a little bit of shampoo, it was like $36.
It is coming up on that time where like you're so fucked on it being hot. If you're gonna not have the side windows on and it's gonna be over 100 degrees every single day anyway, so you're not gonna get any bliss from your AC, might as well take them doors off.
Oh no!
I'm just saying.
Oh no!
It's getting to be that time of year.
That's dangerous. That's scary to me.
Oh, so good.
Because I don't know if you noticed. I'm a little. I'm not the slowest driver around.
You
Sometimes I
you're
take those
I don't know if you've
turns.
noticed, but my Avenger still has its doors attached to it.
I hit the apex on some of those turns. I hit the turn. I go, what? So with no doors, a no go for me.
Yeah.
Justin, would you
I
ever
wonder
ride?
if I'd be a better driver if I would when I get another car, because I haven't had a car for a couple of years now, and I fairly universally was told that I was a bad driver or I was an unsafe driver when I would drive before. So I wonder if I would have if I've gotten better or
you know
worse.
what's funny is those are two totally different categories in my mind. A bad driver cuts me off and fails to signal.
Okay.
An unsafe driver just happens to go fast and be awesome.
Just leaves.
The second one. The second one.
He's in danger, but for not very.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, man, that dude's kicking ass. I mean, that's unsafe. Don't get me wrong, but
But have you
Actually,
gone
there was one
85
time-
before?
I think I remember one time in Austin, there was like a moment where, because I'm used to kind of like just driving like a lunatic and like constantly, I will very rarely cut somebody off because I'm so used to changing lanes. Like I know the protocol because it happens 50,000 times when I'm driving because I'm always trying to go faster than people. But I remember one time in Austin, I was, I think I feel like Andrew was in the car and maybe Brian was as well, but there was like some mattress in the road. And I was just like, oh yeah. Like, just no panic, calm, because I'm used to driving like a lunatic. And that was just a crazy thing that was happening in the middle of the road. But for many people, it's scary and I accelerate through turns and I'm a bad driver. So I wonder if I would slow down when I get another car.
What kind of car would make you drive the safest?
Would you have to get like a soccer van to feel like
Like if you got a Tesla, would you be one of those?
Oh.
Would you be one of those like, I'm very safe unless I want to show off my blast off mode? Look at you feel fast. You came in your panties. All right. Anyway, it's me, Justin.
that thing Justin says a lot.
Yeah. That's going to be my
Classic.
It's going to be the acronym on my license plate.
It's, like I used to host Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah. What
George
would make
Lau.
me drive the safest?
I'm so glad you caught that. It was great.
Yeah. What,
Yeah.
like, would you need a nicer,
Like
if you had a nicer
what
car,
about
would that
an
make you
actual
safer?
Hummer, like a military grade Humvee? Would that cause you to be afraid of stepping on all the tiny cars around you?
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, in my last moment of freedom before the world fucked off, when I was in South Carolina, the only car they had for me was a big ass fucking F-150.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I never thought of myself as a truck man myself, but holy shit, it was cool being a truck man for a solid
that
72 hours.
That car, like, whether or not it's true, you have the strong impression that you could drive over any other car at any time if you felt like it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Although it was slightly emasculating to try to get up into it. Like I would have to develop I'd have to develop like a thing.
You had
Like,
Tahoe syndrome.
Yeah. Like, do I need to like stretch my hammies before I leave the fucking hotel room? Like, do I do a little swing? Like, do I put my hands on it and then kind of lift myself up? Like, I don't know. I feel like a real pussy, but then I get into that car and I'm like, fuck it. Let me put on some country music and fucking like just drive around and be like, look at me, I'm in a truck.
I never really hurt my shoulder blade doing that move. No. Oh, my goodness.
So I'm pretty sure Bonnie is not listening.
Okay.
Okay.
And if anybody hears this, don't tell
her.
Bonnie.
Don't tell her.
Also, don't let Bonnie watch any of the Modern Rogue episodes that we shoot today,
Okay.
in which we explore the back 5 acres
No. That's right.
with a UV light.
Justin, do you know why we might do that with the UV light at night?
Do you know what
No.
we might be looking for?
Someone been jacking it?
That would be preferred to what it actually is.
Because, okay, we have one problem on the Modern Rogue, and that's that we assume some stuff's going to go right, and then it doesn't go right.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be better about, we also want to preserve surprise, right? So we've made a game of having some of us practice things in advance to make sure they're going to work.
Prep stuff and yeah.
And we got so many photos of fluorescently glowing scorpions from Jason last night. This is going to be the greatest slam dunk, easiest episode we've ever shot. Finding scorpions in the backyard. And Bonnie must never know.
She doesn't know? Oh, God.
That the back 5 acres is infested with scorpions.
Well, and that we're hunting them.
Hold on, let me. I'm gonna send you a picture.
All right.
So I know that we have the technology to look at them.
Yes.
We're not like trying to capture. We're just looking and we're ding dong ditching these scorpions. Yes. We're not actually trying to start the scorpion zoo, right? Please.
Well, hold
Oh
on.
no.
Hold on. Justin, there you go. Take a look at.
It's very visible, I will say, for our audio listeners once they get the clip. It is
Yeah. Here. Well, sorry. Well, I'm having to do a screen grab in order to make this work.
and so
There you go.
I wore my long socks today thinking that would do anything, and I think it won't. I don't just to give everybody a very brief idea. It's very visible here.
Okay. Well, look. Let me make it a little bit better. This was also spotted on property. Later, if you scroll down, Bryce.
Oh yeah.
A little
If I
baby
scroll
deer.
down. Well, okay, but a deer won't sting me with its tail. A deer will give me butterfly kisses with its tail. That's the worst thing. I guess it could like smash me in the nuts with its hooves, but like
It could,
its
yeah, it
tail
could kick
is,
it could kick your nuts clean off.
but
No,
its tail
somebody
is not
just
dangerous.
tweeted Bonnie. Oh no. Yeah, no, but that.
Ugh.
And what's funny is, like the only question I have is, hey, are we going to be wasting our time, or are we going to get something out of this? And there's this sort of like, I stopped looking after I found the 8th one, and so
In my head,
Have you guys done? Do you guys have like a mathematic formula of like if you find X in X amount of zone, like how many you can extrapolate that for like?
we totally should. We should take
Yeah,
like
you
a,
should
like
figure-
a 10 by
figure
10
that out.
zone, do the math,
Yeah,
figure out how many.
and say that means by estimate there are this many 100 scorpions around.
Yeah. And then we're gonna shout out, "Hey, all you scorpions, get over here!"
Yeah, here I am. Rock me like a hurricane. There's a lot of things that scorpion is related to.
in my
Bryce,
head,
so what are you worried about?
we
You've been
find
back
a
there,
nest
you
and they
haven't
say,
died.
"Oh, you shouldn't have found our nest. You are dead now." And then they come after the
I already got my
5%
protective
crew.
footwear.
What?
I'm wearing it right
You're
now.
worried that,
Hold
that
on.
like
Here we
He's
go.
not even wearing socks, y'all. He's got the same. Are you gonna wear those on the thing?
I know what would be a better story.
No, it wouldn't be. It would not be.
I'm
Oh,
gonna let them crawl right over
you
me.
wouldn't say
well,
that.
they're not gonna. They don't kill you, do they?
They're
The
gonna-
scorpions, they just sting you.
No,
Unless they're poisonous.
steal all your hair gel.
Are scorpions? Can someone Google if scorpions are poisonous? Because I think that they
Yeah.
are.
No, the
Oh wait, hold on.
banned poison
I'm googling
is
it out.
poisonous.
Only for Bryce's.
No!
That's weird. That's a weird thing to say on WebMD.
Only for
Wait, now is that a spider web MD? Because I don't trust that fucking spider web MD.
You got me. Turn off the lights. I'm taking this site to the dark web.
Shit. So that's coming up tonight.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. So you're gonna go find. Yeah, no, that's a great episode. How many scorpions are in your backyard? A final analysis.
The answer, all of them.
Turns out, all of them.
What else we got? Any other problems to fix? You fixed all the Daily Tech News.
Basketball is coming back. They voted on basketball coming back. Sports will be back in July.
It's
July,
all, it's
it looks
all
like
taking
they are
place in
gonna
Disney
start.
World. Is that right, Justin? They're all camping
All of
in?
it in Disney World. 22 teams. They're gonna play like 8 regular season games.
That's so
and then do
weird.
the
That makes it
playoffs.
like a reality show. Like they
already is.
converted the NBA into just straight up reality television.
Basically, and I think that that's a great idea, especially for the NBA where their stars are kind of so visible and they already exhibit so much of their personality. I think it's awesome that they're all just going to be hanging out with each other and on IG Live. I think it's going to be huge. That it'll be like among the most highly rated basketball ever played.
Yeah, probably. Nick Howe asks, are they doing crowds? Yeah, I
No.
don't think that they will be. I don't think they. Well,
They will not be doing
How-
crowds unless something greatly
What-
changes between now and July.
They have to do something
there was a.
to cause people to be excited when the ball goes in the hoop.
I I don't
will
think
there
that
be
they-
like an alarm, a ding dong, an awooga, a comic seltzer blast to the face?
It's funny because I'm curious to see what they will do. I think obviously sound design is going to be a big part of it, but what I would be interested in is like,
Canned
hey, you could just
laughter?
have Look who's coming in.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
no,
John,
wait.
they got food.
Oh, I thought that was Bonnie for a second.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. We're safe. We're
At least,
safe.
okay.
But yeah, no, I think that there's been talk that they're going to mic the other players that aren't playing in the game and literally have them reacting to it.
There was
I don't think it takes much to give that social proof. I mean, in the case of the soup, you only needed one other person, right? Like all
had-
Joel
right.
McHale had to do is to turn and say like, and have one person laugh off screen, and
Well, and
that's enough.
you know they'll have announcers calling the game. I'm sure. Like I'm sure
Yeah.
you do that plus the normal stuff that you would hear over the speaker system. You know, do a little air horn when there's a goal like that. I wonder if how far they would get without having much of anything.
I think it'd be interesting if you took, in the towns that they are playing for, have a family or something that you just is getting the live feed from the facility and they're reacting and you literally just pipe in their audio.
Like,
or
the other
maybe-
teams, the other teams. have
Hold,
to
hold
watch.
on. What about this? Now,
Yeah.
now here's the
No,
dance.
that's a huge thing.
Here's
That's one of the considerations.
Oh, really?
is that
Oh, that's fun.
all the other players that aren't playing, you mic them and they're reacting to these games being played because half of them are going to want to watch it anyway.
That's cool.
Man, I'm split because part of me thinks it'd be hilarious to just like only bookies have feeds. And then or like people who have money on the game, and it's just like piped in
Get to
through,
watch it?
through
Oh,
Skype.
audio.
Yeah. It's all the reactions.
No, it needs to just be Adam Sandler playing his Uncut Gems character.
Yes,
and
yes.
we just assume that he's got money on every possession, and it's just him like, yes, shoot the fucking ball, yes.
Every 2 point is, holy shit, I'm gonna come.
No. but you could do like audio piped in from multiple locations where everybody is appropriately socially distanced or whatever.
There was, Justin, I don't know if you know about this. I don't know if it was a NASCAR event or something. There was some sport, maybe it was a soccer thing. There was some event maybe a month or so ago where they said, all right, we're going to, like, in a closed beta, have people connect via their computers and we will take your audio and figure out something to do with it. I think that's very dangerous to do.
Yes.
You know what's interesting is they've already done it. For example, at the Olympics, when you watch the Olympic rowing, all of that is Foleyed live in the moment because the shot is taken from there are helicopters overhead. Nobody can be heard from the side. You certainly, not even the rowers are able to hear the splashing of the water as they do it, and yet everything is totally faked and Foleyed. There's a Radio Lab on this, so it's like I think all we do is pull back the mask on that a bit and say, you know what, it's gonna feel like a fine basketball game. Do you need a reason for there to be cheering?
Well, but the thing I'm describing was not fully like it's for the audience. Like if you're watching and you're excited for your team, like log in and feed us a mic and we'll put it somewhere. But I don't know if they did it again and it was a very close thing. But that having any audience element, a non-professional element, piping in audio is very dangerous.
First of all, hi, me, magician here.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert. Turns out there's a mask under this mask. I'm going to reveal to you that everybody signed up and everybody is convinced they're being heard, and none of them are being heard. They're all of their voices are going into the dumpster fire of garbage that is like none of it's being used, and there is nothing to be afraid of.
Well,
I mean, okay.
Well,
I mean-
yeah, I mean, to your
Sure.
point, Bryce, I don't know if I don't know if it's as dangerous as you might think, because you have live mics for crowds all the time, and some people are closer to the mics and they know they're closer to the mics, and they could
Mhm.
scream the thing that you're worried about somebody screaming into their computer or phone mics. I think that there's probably a line to which you can do it, and you're going to ride that. You're going to ride whatever buttons if somebody is like screaming or creating too much of a soundscape that ruins the bouquet. But I think the idea would be that you are just putting everybody's thing, and then at that point, you do give yourself to Brian's point. Now it's like, sure, we have some people that are actually connected, but also we're laying down a unifying bed that harmoniously creates this situation. And like that bed is a bunch of like general crowd noise that makes no one voice too prominent. But really what you want is when the big play goes in, you have the authentic like yay,
And then
that's
like
the one thing that's
in-
hard. That's hard to recreate in a Foley.
Series listening, and when it hears enough people go, let's go defense, it's like, all right, play let's go defense.wav, and then and
Yeah, I mean, football might be easier than basketball. Basketball has a very and hockey has a very specific. Well, no, basketball probably more than hockey, because hockey it's like it's a lot of general like then like a big sound when somebody scores a goal. In basketball, there's like a lot of different variations of like points in which sounds made. A defensive play is made. A mid-court or a mid-range jumper, a three-pointer. All those things sound different in a way that like a predictable rowing event does not. Like you can, that we expect to see a bunch of people rowing like, all right, splash, splash, splash. Coxswain's like, okay, yeah, fine. Seen one, you seen them all. Bada bing, bada boom. Belarus wins. Who gives a fuck? On to discus.
discus. Whoosh whoosh. Oh, that went far.
Look how far it's going.
Oh, I can't believe it hasn't landed yet.
But yeah, I mean, people screaming obscenities at sports games is constant, evergreen. Maybe people will find more of a way to really, really, really hamper the audio because you're going to be connecting to a computer system, and now you can just play sound effects or play other stuff over that might be different. But in general, I think if you're like, hey, look, you want free tickets when the NBA comes back, then don't be a fucking asshole and we'll fucking use a part of your voice during this broadcast.
I mean, here's back to the NBA question. Here's all they need is a reason why we're hearing crowd noise. They say, as you know, these guys are playing in a closed arena, but they're being seen at over 50 different locations where people are responsibly socially distancing, and we've piped in audio from all of them. Oh, doesn't that sound like a lot of people cheering, kind of like a real game? And then, whether it is or is not totally fabricated doesn't matter. Like, they've made their excuse.
Yeah, to me, I don't think that recreating a crowd digitally is necessarily the way to go. What I would want is players there, and I would want like fans that I am interested to see their reaction. Like I want a live video of Snoop Dogg reacting like to the Lakers playing, and like for him like in a video wall while they're playing or after a shot is hit, to go to that, and that's my crowd representation is like a super fan or a celebrity or something like that, where I'm like, oh, that's cool and visually interesting. I want to hear what they said in that moment. I don't necessarily think that like the audio bouquet of like a rumbling crowd is necessarily at like that. Transplanting that into what is obviously a gym, I think would be discordant. Creating a made for television moment, I think, is probably the better way to go.
Tell you what, if you want that full-bodied, real crowd sound, completely run by robots, 5 syllables, vuvuzelas. Nope, that's
That's
4.
it.
That's 4. Just
Yeah.
whatever. Vuvuzelas, man, bring him back.
God, that was the best. Remember when everybody was like into that? God, the World Cup's the best, man. Like, it sucks that the U.S. didn't make it because, like, it's just so fun when everybody's like into soccer, and then you like realize, like, oh wait, like all the rest of the world is better than us, but we can be the underdogs for once. Like, you know, normally whenever we actually try, we just like eviscerate people through money and cheating. But like, if we can't do it in soccer, and boy, is it fun to watch us try.
Did that ESPN series end yet?
Yeah. The Last Dance.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, oh, The Last Dance. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's over.
Did they win?
Bulls won. Fucking Bulls.
No, I mean ESPN. did it win over hearts and minds?
Insane ratings. Like,
Yeah.
so much so that now every mega famous athlete is getting a 10-part series now.
Oh, man.
Like,
Speaking of which, somebody texted me saying something evidence Carol Baskins. Is that news?
oh, so
I saw that she got
Like
the
she got the
Tiger
zoo.
King's property.
yeah, 2 things. Number 1, she got the rights to the GW Zoo,
yeah.
In
and
Oklahoma.
some authority in Florida said that her husband's will has been determined to be a forgery.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Which one of his assistant kind of said in the documentary, like, yeah, she kind of took control of that will, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the chief
or-
of police. Yeah,
Wow.
but I don't know, like, whether it's the current chief of police or the past chief of police, or it's the same guy, or what it means. Like,
Has the deceased's family, have they said that they're gonna, I don't know, fight for his estate back?
oh,
I don't know.
I have no idea. All I know is that the will, everybody's like, the will was forged, and I'm like, I mean, like that. I was a little busy yesterday trying to not ruin my career by talking about police brutality, because now I've transferred careers. I'm now no longer a virologist. I'm now a data scientist into police brutality. So that was a bit jarring, and I tried to do an episode, so I didn't really pay attention to it, but I did look at it and be like, I'll bet you that story is not as impressive as that headline. I'll get back to it. So I haven't seen it yet.
Hey, one last thing on the Spectrum front. 2 techs gave me them digits. One of them really seems like he's taking the case. Like, I called
Nice.
him and I said, "It's happening. It's happening right now." And he said, "I'm pulling over right now into this arrest stop." And he goes,
Yeah.
beep, boop, 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 boop. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it right now. Your modem not working. I'm grabbing screenshots of this. I'm going to send this. We're going to take it straight to the mayor, Pepe Silva." It was amazing. And he was just like, and I was like, "Well, wait, you want me to reset the modem?" He's like, "No, we got him. We got Sasquatch right where we want him. This high def photo is going to blow the lid off the whole case." And then, and then I was like, "What about now?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't know, reset it, whatever. I got the photo."
That's good.
I'll tell you what, it seems like we have a functional process now, though, because like even when shit degrades to total garbage on Skype, I now have the safety monitor of the Twitch output, and the Twitch output always looks HD.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember the last time that we've had a problem of actually doing what matters, which is broadcasting.
Yeah, in the we've gotten far enough that we're pretty sure what happens is there's some kind of, I don't know, ground loop feedback, some kind of voltage Jeep drop electricity thing that builds up over time and becomes noisy enough that it's a problem and everything goes to crap. And universally unplugging everything and plugging it back in does fix it, but eventually, you know, like, I don't know, like a static charge, it just builds up again over time. So hopefully we, apparently it was a big day that we caught it in the act of Sasquatching around, trying to look
Nice.
all like a
So
scorpion.
you're just not like the world's shittiest slip and fall actor. Like you're
No,
not just
no. I'm so lonely that I just want 10 motherfucking Spectrum techs to come visit, and then I start getting their digits so that I have somebody to talk to. Yes, no, that's not the case, unfortunately.
fucking slow pan outside the house as you see 14 scorpions on top of each other
All right,
with the
look,
wire in their little
I'm calling it.
mandibles.
Can I get my? Can I get a plug in?
Yeah, as long as it's scorpion plugged.
Friday Night Bryce, we just started a new game on Fridays, 8 o'clock Central here on twitch.tv/Night Attack. I'm playing Life is Strange 2. It's a pretty cool game.
Right
And
on.
Ended up being very prescient for the times, it turns out. So that's Friday, 8 o'clock.
Because there's so many scorpions in it.
8 Central.
It
8
definitely
Central, 9 Eastern,
starts
5
with an
Pacific.
innocent father getting shot to death by the police. Didn't know that. Bye, everyone.
Love you.
Probably shouldn't have danced.
I shouldn't.